I am Salma, and I am very happy to be here today. Today we're going to speak about cross-culture. Usually I like sessions to be more interactive because it's very hard to speak only one way, and I am always scared that it gets boring. But yeah, plus in this situation, it would be very nice to see human beings and listen to, like, hear other voices. But yeah. So I would assume, since you are here and you are a student of UBS, that you are interested in traveling abroad in some point, or you are interested to work in a multinational company in one day, which you will get to meet a lot of people from different cultures and backgrounds. Before I start speaking about what you should expect and how to prepare to work in a different culture, I would like to say how happy I am. I am from Egypt, and I visited many countries, but I consider India is the closest country to my heart and my favorite country after my own country. And I came in 2016 to India just to stay for 6 months. And now it is 2020 and I'm still here. So you can see like how much I love India. Uh, so today we will speak about how to prepare before going to a country and how to deal with different cultures. We will speak about 10 different things that you need to keep in mind and 7 learnings. Okay, the first thing you need to do is always do your research. If you are joining a new country, a new company, you always search about the mission and vision of this company. Same you need to do always when you are going to a different country. You need to read about the country, know about the culture. No matter how much you read about culture, and like as long as you don't actually go, you will never completely know the culture, but at least you should know the headlines. Like before I come to India, I knew that it is a religious country, like religion is something important here. People are very connected and they like family, the family bonding is very important. So main things that you need to know, and you should have an idea about the country. So this is the first thing you need to keep in mind. Second thing, you have to be aware. So some things, since you lived all your life in your country, so some things are normal to you and you feel like it is okay to do it, but it might not be the same way when you travel to another country. So for example, here you are used, for a lady, it's okay to wear a sari and go to office or to go to a business meeting because it is considered as a formal wear. But you cannot go abroad and say that I can wear a sari. And there is a fine line between respecting your own culture and just feel like respecting your own culture, or and disrespecting the other people culture. So it's very important to keep your culture and love it, but as long as you go outside, you should also keep in consideration what people think and what is their culture and what is accepted to them and what not. So for example, even eating habits, once I came, usually in Egypt, I go and I can eat when it's lunch break. You can go whenever you have a lunch break, you can go and eat. But here, I find people eat together. At the beginning, for me, it was weird, and people would think that maybe I am arrogant, or I don't want to, I'm not, I don't want to blend in for eating alone. So you have to be aware what is acceptable and not acceptable in the other culture. Then we will go and speak about, learn about the values of the other culture. For example, in China, they respect their tradition and their history. In India, culture and family. In South Korea, it is totally different. It's for them, the work and being disciplined and knowledge is what matters and what is very important. So it's very important, again, to try to know what are the main values that this country believe in, and then they will appreciate you. Then we will come to be careful with humor. So in my country, people are very friendly. Okay, and in work, when you go to an office, most of the time you don't feel like you're going to an office. Feel like you are. It's a family business. So even we respect hierarchy, but people are they all speak to each other. We give each other nicknames. We go outside and have outings. We do things together. For example, when I went to China or South Korea, uh, I didn't I didn't keep that in mind, and I started being like speaking to everyone, giving everyone nicknames and being friendly. But then people find it as a rude thing, like you need, okay, we are working together, we will respect each other, but this is not allowed. When I came to India, people are more friendly and people are warm, so I thought, okay, so this is fine and I can do that. And but I didn't keep in mind that also between women and men there is there are difference here. So it's okay to give nicknames, to start giving nicknames to people, like if you are a lady for another lady, but it's not so normal to do it for a man with a man colleague. Or when you are going outings, it's not okay to go and hug someone. If you are a lady, you cannot do it to a man. So yeah, so and people don't get offended, but they just feel like, okay, this is weird. So it's very important. Humor and comments. So it goes both ways. So here, for example, people have sense of humor, but they are kind of little too blunt about their sense of humor. So if we are friends, they will feel it is okay to give you like a direct comment about how you look or what you are wearing. In my culture, this is something which is like people at least try to sugarcoat it as much as possible, even if you are close friends. So this is something that you really need to keep in mind, the humor and the comments and your normal behavior, because what can be normal to you not always normal to the others. When in doubt, ask. So you would be surprised that, for example, European, they are very advanced, and we see that European are very advanced people, but you would be surprised that most of European countries, they don't speak English, and or their English is not as great. Like in India, they speak better English than European, way better English, or the system, or what can offend people. So whenever you have a doubt, you don't feel scared to ask. It's always better to ask, better than putting yourself in a bad situation. So if you don't understand something, if someone said something and it doesn't sound right to you, it's okay to ask. And it's always okay to ask, is it okay if I do that when you go to another culture? Because at least, even if what you're planning to do is not very good thing in their culture, but at least they will feel that you respecting them and you want to check and make sure that you are not offending or disrespecting anyone. So whenever you are in doubt, you should ask. We have also find your resilience. So let's agree you are outside of your comfort zone. The moment you step out of your country, or forget about your country, even if you are, from example, from Maharashtra, if you are going to Delhi, it might be a culture shock for you, because in India itself is cross culture, even within the country. Forget about going to another country. So you will always have shocks in your life. And there are two ways to take it: whether be happy about it, not happy, but you take it in a lighter way and say, okay, I will laugh about it later on, or you just keep cribbing and complaining about it. So I'll give you a very an example. Something happened to me. I am sure maybe not all of you have visited Mumbai before, but I know that Mumbai have a good reputation when it comes to traffic and local train. So even if you never visited Mumbai, I'm sure you have heard about it. And I'm from Egypt. We have trains, we have metros, and for us, it's not a big deal. Like, you're going to taking the metro and train is something that you do daily. And in case you are not familiar, I live somewhere called Powai, and my office somewhere called Sion. So it's around 1 hour journey, and if it's a bad traffic day, sometimes it take hour and a half or 2 hours by road. So I said, what is the big deal? I have a train station nearby me. I will just take the train and I will just go. Let's not talk much about this experience because it makes me get so emotional. But let's say people are very friendly in India, especially in Mumbai. When you go to the train, they will help you to go in, they will push you in, they will help you to go out, they'll push you out, and they will be like a support system. You don't, even if you cannot hold anything, you are surrounded by people, so there is no chance that you will ever fall no matter what. And usually at morning also you are like half asleep and not so motivated, so they will give you a lot of beautiful smells that will wake all your senses so you can go totally awake to your office. And this is not, I am someone who has phobia from crowded places and closed places. So can you imagine me in the local train? Let's not talk much, but when I went outside the first time, I went outside without my shoes. But again, Indians are very, very helpful. One sweet lady, she threw my shoes to me outside. So I got my shoes back. Now I laugh about it and I say to people and they smile and they laugh about it. But at that point of time, it wasn't funny according to me. I even cried at that day because like I felt, what is happening to me? What am I going through? Where am I? But again, you have two options, whether to try to find solutions to the difficulties that happen to you in a different country, or you just keep cribbing and then you will miss the opportunity to enjoy the good part and the benefit of this journey. So what happened, there I find options that there is something called Lady Special, and there is some trains which comes with a very close by station, so you can get even place to sit in the train. So this is again lead us to a point that you always find the way around the problems that happens to you, and just don't stop in every difficulty that you face when you are outside your comfort zone. We have to develop your empathy skills. Sometimes there are things which will happen to you that you cannot really relate to, and you don't understand why it is a big deal for the other country and their culture, but you can never undermine what people think and how proud they are about a certain thing in their culture. So for example, when I went to South Korea, I told them, okay, we are done with our work. Please take me somewhere fun where I can see the country and I can enjoy. And they took me like according to me, and I always felt like even according to any country in the world, that cemetery is some place which is a sad place, like dead people are buried, so it is supposed to be sad. But when that time they all agreed that they should take me to the national cemetery in Seoul. And I was like, who takes someone to cemetery for fun? And then I went there and there was like park in the cemetery and kids are playing and they're very proud of this. And I couldn't relate because according to me, this is not somewhere you go to have fun even or play around when they are dead. But again, you have to create to develop sympathy skills, empathy skills towards things that even if you cannot relate to. For example, when I went to Tunisia, I was complaining all the time, like I can't imagine there is no fast food franchises here in Tunisia. Like you cannot find Pizza Hut, McDonald's, KFC, and it was like kind of weird to me. But then later on, I found out that the people, the Tunisian were not really appreciating me complaining about this, because they do it because their economy and because they are like how they are proud of their culture and their food. So again, it's something that you need to create empathy towards. Then never react, always wait. So because the culture difference, you might get people wrong and they get you wrong the other way around. So for me, when I came here in India, I speak my mind. Okay, whatever, if I find something wrong, I feel like it's okay to speak, because you are hired to give your knowledge and you give your opinion, not just to do something. But at the beginning, some people felt like it's kind of rude, because if it's a manager, they take it as you are back answering. When I came here, people also little sensitive. So for example, if you are if someone has a problem with a colleague and they are not really close, the first thing that they would do, they will go and tell their manager or the other person manager, so they can convey the message. According to me, this was something not nice, because we are all working together. You are my colleague. If you have a problem with me, you come and talk to me, because this is how it works in my country. So I feel like, okay, people are being against me and they are not friendly. But later on, I felt like, okay, because sometimes people are kind of sensitive, so that's why they don't go and speak directly. They feel like might be embarrassing if they go and speak directly. So it was nothing personal, and it was never was personal. So it's very important never to react, always wait and understand, because sometimes people do things which they mean nothing against you, but this is how they are. Sometimes people are very, very formal, and they respect hierarchy, and you can come up like as an arrogant person, but again, it might not be the case. You need to keep observing and understand how things works and who takes the decision, and you need to always try to blend in. No matter how much you try, it's always people in the other country would always appreciate it if they feel like you are actually doing an effort to blend in, to learn their language, to learn their culture, to do things in their activity. It's not like this is not how it is in my country and that's it, or this is something that you don't accept. Like for me, in Egypt, it's something, someone feeding someone in their mouth is something very like personal, like a mom or people in relationship or friends, like very close friends would do. So for me, at the beginning, it was very weird that people in birthdays and over lunch, everyone can just go and feed each other. But it's always, now I eat pani puri from the street, from the guy's pani puri's hand, without even wearing gloves. In China and South Korea, it's very how they eat with chopsticks. No matter how much I try to learn how to eat with chopsticks, till now I'm very bad at it. But they even try to make me like kids how kids eat with the chopsticks. So this is something you always try to show that you are doing effort to blend in and make an effort to make people feel that you are one of them. So those are the things that you need to prepare before going to a country and keep in mind. There are learnings that you learn, like I've learned personally from working different cultures. Accept some discomfort as a given. So let's face it, at the beginning, in each country, I used to feel kind of offended, and I feel like people are not so welcoming when they start speaking with their own language when I'm there. Like if I feel like if I'm part of the group, it's kind of respect to speak in English so I can understand. But then I start putting myself in other people's shoes. Sometimes it's easier for people to communicate and relate to things when they speak in their own language. So I start to feel like, okay, it might make me at times uncomfortable, but this is nothing against me. It is just people like would be sitting in a meeting, they're passing comments and jokes in Hindi or in Chinese or in Mandarin or like any language. And I feel it is okay. It is discomfort that I have to live with, because this is how it is. Second thing, you practice culture due diligence. So you need to find the gap between your culture and the culture you are going to, and try to work on this gap to solve your problem so you can like live easier. Always be open to learn new ideas and learning. So you should always like, don't say that this is how I do it and this is how it works and be stubborn about it. Sometimes people really appreciate it when they feel like you are open to learn new things with their ways, not only your way. So this is something very important. Be curious about others. People sometimes feel it so disrespectful when you say that I am here just to work and that's it. People, we are humans and we like to feel that people are taking interest in us and curious about our culture background. So you always need all the time to make people feel like you are one of them, which leads us to the next point. Don't lose yourself. So it's very important to try to blend in, but never lose yourself. And because why a foreign country or a multinational company will hire someone from a different country? Because they want a blend between culture, because they want something different, which is not only about the skills that you have. Sometimes they want to bring something, a new culture, new mindset to the table. So you shouldn't forget who you are. Yes, try to blend in, but always be self-aware and know your like what is special about you and what different you can bring to the table. And then interact with people, not stereotypes. This is something that goes two ways. So I am from Egypt, and a lot of people have this stereotype that in Egypt it's about desert, pyramids, mummies, and camels, and they think, and this is what people, whenever I say Egypt, they say, oh, pyramids and mummies, which is something I used to feel offended about, because we have a lot more and we have a lot of technology. We have one of the best beaches in the world. In India also, they have, like we have in Egypt, and each country has its own stereotypes. So whenever you are going to another country, you have to make sure that you are dealing with people, not stereotypes, and also be ambassador of your own country. Sometimes people will have a bad stereotype about your country, but you have two things to do about it: whether to get offended or to be ambassador for your country and change how they think about you. So at the beginning, you might face difficulties, even if you felt like sometimes left out or people are not trying to blend with you. You never give up. You always try and make sure that you are representing a good image of your country. And the last thing I want to speak about, that you need not to repeat whatever people say. So this is funny, but whenever you try to learn something, people tend to start teaching you bad things about, like if you want to learn a language, they will always tell you, okay, say this, and they feel it's funny or cute, but sometimes, most of the time, it's nothing. It's not something very respectful or nice to say. So always don't always put an excuse that I'm a foreigner and I didn't know that this is bad, because also you are adult foreigners, so you can always ask and make sure that whatever you are saying and whatever you're expressing is something which is appropriate to say, because some people will take it in a funny way, but some people will find it disrespectful. So you need to make sure that you don't do that. Those are the main learnings that I've learned from working in different countries, and it's open now. If you have any questions, I would be more than happy to answer any of your questions.
Okay, so Salma, the first question comes, ma'am, suppose if a foreign company want to hire you, or if a company want to invest big amount in your company, but they want you to give up your culture, or they want you to accept their culture and norms more over our own culture, then what to do in that situation?
Okay, so let's agree that no company will hire you to torture you. They are hiring you to get benefit of your skills and to have multicultural in their organization. And we made it very clear, it is very important to respect your own culture, but at the same time, you should also accept other people's culture. So as I mentioned, like for example, a girl wearing sari, she says, this is my culture. But if the other company in this country don't accept the sari and for them it's not considered as a formal wear, then it's not you keeping your culture, it's you disrespecting what is the rules and regulation. Like I can understand if it's something like huge, like if you are a Sikh and wearing turban, I would tell you no, this is something that you have to stick to. But sometimes you have to realize when you are going, as long as you want to be in another country and another culture, what are the things that it's okay to let go for a better benefit of you, and what are the things that it is like a proper thing that you have to follow and you cannot give up. So sometimes you need also to compromise in between. And I don't think a company would just would go and like totally be against your culture because they don't want to have any bad intention. I'm sure that they have a reason behind whatever they ask you to do.
Okay. So the next question is, among the countries you have been, which country do you think has the most job opportunities for the freshers?
Most opportunities. So South Korea is a country which has a lot of opportunities, I feel, because it's a country that they have a lot of technologies, a lot of factories, a lot of companies, and I feel like people go always towards US and Europe, which is something I feel like US people and European
Salma, we have lost your voice actually. Hello. Salma, you have put on the mute. Kindly unmute yourself. Yeah.
Sir, drop a message to the madam. Sir, drop a message.
Hello?
Yeah, ma'am. Now you are audible, ma'am. Now you are audible.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah. So next question, which country you found to be most difficult? Also, what was the most difficult thing you dealt with in India? Okay. The most country I found very difficult to deal with was China because Chinese are very strict and I found that the culture was very different. So it's a country, to be honest, I didn't enjoy working in so much, but yeah, people are different, and according to my personality, China was the most difficult. In India, the most difficult thing I have dealt with, other than the local train, it's sometimes in some culture gaps that I faced at the beginning. Now I have overcome, like how people deal with each other in workplace, and like how people can be very connected, because in Egypt everyone has their own life, like there are some respect of privacy, but people at the beginning when I came, it was for me people asking a very personal questions at the like, or interferes little bit on your business or what you do. It was something which is kind of difficult to deal with at the beginning, but now I know how to deal with it. Like now I can be more Indian than you guys.
Okay. So the next question is, which is the biggest threat or troll you face while working in different companies in different countries? So troll
Which
maybe
what?
means,
Sorry.
so so the question is, which is the best troll or the most difficult troll you have faced during while you was working with the other countries?
So every country has its own difficulties, to be honest. So again, I mean, usually most of the time you don't find the difficulty in the work itself, because skills and work are same everywhere. But again, culture is different. Even if it is sometimes it's little hard at the beginning to deal with culture. That's why I'm telling you, it is the point that I mentioned, that you have to find your resilience and just have to try to accept whatever difficulty you are you are facing, and take it in a lighter way, because most of the time it is just a human and behavior issue. It's not a work issue. So this is something, the sooner you try to overcome and take it, have a different perspective, seeing problems, the sooner you will be able to adapt and live.
Okay, so what are cross-cultural management current challenges? So basically, what are the cross-cultural management challenges?
Okay, so the challenges is people are not, people nowadays are not able to compromise. So whenever you go, like the person who asked about someone, like how you see things. So so people are not flexible enough to meet somewhere in between and compromise between what they believe in and what the other country or other backgrounds believe in. So even here in India, forget about countries, people from different backgrounds in one organization will always have problems how to deal with things the right way. So I mean, the main problems of humans is not the jobs as well. It's people not being flexible and not able to compromise and adjust easily.
So describe the work environment or culture in which you are the most productive and happy.
India. So as I mentioned at the beginning, India is one of my favorite countries, because what I love about Indians are people. People are really nice and warm. They are caring. They always want to help. And this is, for me, I am someone who care about people more than places. So yeah, so the more people are welcoming and warm, the more I feel comfortable and happy to come to office every day and deal with people.
Okay. So how would a person cope up with bullying or discrimination if faced based on language or culture?
I'll tell you something, how to deal with discrimination. People can discriminate. The thing, as I said, one of the points, deal with people, not stereotypes. Even if people deal with you with discrimination because your language or culture at the beginning, for the first few months, is shame on them. But later on, if they are still dealing with you this way, then there is something wrong with your behavior. Because I can have a bad first impression or stereotype about someone, that okay, those people are like that, but when I deal with people and they're actually nice, helpful, welcoming, they try to communicate in a proper way, you become an ambassador from your background. And if still people dealing with them, then they have something wrong with their mind. But if you're doing everything right, I think after some time, even people who discriminate you because whatever reason, they will not, if you are actually a nice, good person, because you will change what they think about you.
Fair enough. Apart from English, which language should we learn, which can help us worldwide?
Okay, I'm not saying that because I am Egyptian, but if you speak in Arabic, so there are so many countries speak in Arabic. Spanish is also all South American, and so many countries speak in Spanish. So I feel French, Spanish, and Arabic are languages which are spoken a lot. People also say Mandarin because China is a big market as well. But yeah, I would say it's you try to speak a language which you have a lot of countries which many countries speak this language. So try to speak something like French, Spanish, or Arabic. Hello?
Sorry, yeah.
Can you
So,
hear
ma'am,
me? Yeah.
yeah, I can hear you. So the next question is, suppose I have an excellent opportunity in some foreign country, but I fail to adapt their culture. What to do then?
Stop fearing. So that you are your own enemy when it's that. For there are two people in this world: risk taker and people who wants to stay in a comfort zone. If you want to stay in a comfort zone, then you get the benefit of being in your comfort zone, but you would never grow. If you want to grow, you need to take a risk. be different from everyone. Not so many people take risk. So take a risk and go. And just I think about it this way: what is possibly worst can happen? You go, try your best, try to adapt. But then if you feel it's not your thing, you can always go, and you will at least have an experience in another country for a period of time. And you will have experience. You don't get only benefit work experience, but you get benefit even you develop your personality depending on yourself, dealing with people from different cultures. So take risk, so, and stop fearing, and this is the only thing you can do about it.
Okay. So one of the students have asked, hello ma'am, I have opted for GMP from University of Varna, and I was thinking of taking up a language course. Can you please suggest me language that will help me out there in Varna? Is Spanish a popular language in Varna?
So Varna, they have their own language. But I will tell you one thing: if you want to go in Varna, you mainly when you go to Varna, the language that you are speaking, the course would be in English. Okay. I feel if you want to learn a new language, you can learn a language again that you can use later on. And once you travel, you will get to meet the main thing that you will need when you travel to Varna is the main things which you can easily grasp, like how to greet people, how to order things. And this is the more you interact with people, the local people. Like I never took a Hindi course, and I live in the country. After a month, you basically start speaking the basic of the language. So I don't think it's like if you want to learn a language, learn a language that you can use also in many countries later on.
So the next question is, how can I make myself appropriate for a position where my organization thinks of me as someone who can work globally? So basically, you want to become the global employee.
Okay, so first of all, you have to work on yourself a lot, self-knowledge. So how many of you, I would ask, what is your dream country? And then when they tell me the dream country, I will ask you, what is their language, the capital, the president, what is happening in in the country, what is the current affair, and you would know. Most of the time, you just have dreams, but you are too lazy to work to achieve your dreams. So first thing, you have to work a lot on your general knowledge, current affair, what's happening in the world, in the business, and you have to be open and open-minded to learn new things and to interact with all kind of people and backgrounds. Plus, now you took a big step. You are at UBS. So at UBS, we teach you how to be global, because this is what all UBS is about. So this is something that I am sure at UBS they will work a lot on you to achieve being global and become a CEO and top management.
Okay. Could you share some of your experiences, any memories or difficulty that you came across while you were working for big companies like Microsoft and HP? So basically, they want to picture of HP and Microsoft globally.
Okay, so when you work in any big company, the main problem that you face is being part to try. At the beginning, I was trying so much to fit in. You try to fit in and try to adjust to the culture, because the way we have been grown, that this is how you should speak to your manager. This is how you should, like, this is how you should deal with things. And those companies have different kind of culture. So this is something that you like, not try to fit in, just try to be yourself, and just try to observe a lot how people deal. Some people like to speak a lot, just to try so hard to improve, to like show themselves and be visible. And sometimes when you don't have the enough knowledge and you keep speaking, you actually put yourself in a trouble. So what you need to do whenever you go to any new workplace, you need to observe a lot, see how managers speaks, how they deal with things, the seniors, how they interact with each other. And once you observe a lot, then you can know how you can start opening up more and interacting more. So don't worry about speaking too much, worry about listening and observing too much.
Okay, the another question is, what are the different challenges they are going to face for the fresher, Kumar is asking, as compared to the experienced persons in terms of managing the cross culture?
So between fresher and an experienced person.
Yes.
Between fresher and experienced person, the only two difference is work skills and the experience they have in life. But to be honest, when it comes to cross culture, age is not the main problem. It's the human being personality. Because even what's the difference between a fresher and experienced person? It's just the years of work experience. It's just the skills and know-how, and this is something you always can learn with time. I had a colleague who is way older than me, and she used to work with me, and she had a better education and experience more than me, but still she would always have fight with everyone. We both were foreigner in a company. She would always have a fight with everyone in the company because she thinks that okay, she has very good education and she has a lot of experience and she can just speak and everyone listen. And I had less experience than her, I was younger than her, but it's about how I dealt with people. To be honest, most of the time she was right, but people, she come across as a very aggressive person and no one wants to listen to aggressive person. So I can say the same thing in a nicer way. Yeah, I understand where you are coming from, but I think if we did this, this will impact the company better, because after all, we're all working for a company. So I think work experience when it comes to cross culture is not a big thing. It's about the personality and how you actually can adjust and make things work for you the right way.
Okay, so the another questions are kind of the repeat question as of now, in terms of which language they need to learn or fresher or something. Now I'm taking this, opportunity to ask you one or two questions because you have that kind of a vast experience in terms of the cross culture. So can you tell us any one of the story of one of the student who have been super good in the cross cultures, who learn this skill very well and been placed into some other countries from the UBS and how they perform there?
One of my favorite students, actually, there is Bhumit Masrani, who was a BBA student, and he went to Malaysia. And he went for 6 months. He got a scholarship because we have one of our partners in Malaysia. They gave a full scholarship, and he traveled. First of all, many students, it's a scholarship. When you get a scholarship, you just take it. For people, sometimes that's what I was saying. You have to be open and see countries, start seeing countries differently. It's not always about Europe or US. So they were like, no, Malaysia, we are not interested to go. And he is one of the people who had the most amazing experiences, but they had a very, very different culture. He's a Jain. And Malaysia, they eat a lot of non-veg, but he's Jain. The education system was totally, totally different than how he used to take at school and at UBS as well. And the culture was very, very different. And actually, in one point, he texted me, he emailed me one day, and he told me, Salma ma'am, I think I am going to leave the course after 1 month because it's very hard. The culture is very different. And I told him, if you want to come, sure, you can come. But I'm telling you, you are missing a huge opportunity. You have a 6 months full paid in the scholarship, and you will face, you are out of your comfort zone, you will face some difficulties. If you come now, you will miss a lot. But you have 2 days, think about it, and if you still want to come back, because he also, after going, he knew that he will have to repeat some subjects here in India as well. So it will be, he will study so many subjects over there, and he will come and study again many subjects here. Not all the subjects can be credit transferred. And he, after 1 day, he texted me, he told me, I thought about it, and okay, I think I will give it a shot and I will try. And he spent there 6 months, and he, till now, he graduated almost year and a half ago, and till now I still speak to him, and he keep telling me, thank you for not letting me come and telling me to think about it. And he now works in a multinational company, and he's a BBA fresher. He wasn't even a post-graduation. He just have BBA. He worked in a very good position, and he is doing fabulous job. So just because he gave himself a chance and he dealt with the cross culture very good, in a very good way.
Okay, so another question to you from my side, because the UBS get a lot of international student in terms of the student exchange, in terms of the full time student. So how's their experience when they mingle up with the Indian students from the different states where the culture are different and they are also coming from the different culture? So what are their most important learnings when they give you as a feedback while going back?
Okay, from our students who travel abroad and our exchange students, right?
So no, the student, international student who come to the
Who
UBS
comes to India, UBS. Okay, so there are, it comes both ways, okay? So we make sure that we train our students to how to deal with the cross culture when they travel abroad, but that doesn't mean that everyone comes from abroad has the same mindset. At the beginning, we have people from so many countries that come: Russia, Egypt, South Africa, France, Germany, so many from Germany, Poland. They keep coming every year to our campus. I find European are the most adaptable, because when they come, the kind of people to leave Europe and come to India, they are the kind of people who are travelers, open. Some people see it as an amazing experience, and they even cry while they are leaving and they don't want to leave. They make friendship for life. Some countries were not, like for example, we had a student from Malaysia, from the same university where Bhumit went. He came and he left because he again felt the same as Bhumit, but he felt it's so different. I cannot deal with it anymore, and I will leave. And he was not open at all. And for him, according to him, the experience wasn't that great because he wasn't even able to speak to people. He just sit in the corner, don't speak to anyone. But a lot of feedback comes from European, from the Egyptian even, that they had time for life. At the beginning, they have culture shock, food very spicy, some things that they are used to in their country is not available here. But then after 1 month, usually people start to adapt, start seeing the positive side, and they make friends for life. So this is something very good.
Okay, thank you. So the another question which I want to shoot to you, because all these students are, they must be excited that all which country they can go for this under the student exchange program of the UBS, because you manage them. So can you throw some light that which country are the most attractive in terms of attracting the Indian student for the student exchange, and which provide the scholarship, and what are the learning outcome of that? So they may start dreaming about the country that, okay, I will go there.
Okay, so you mean you want to know what are the attraction for our students abroad and what countries they can go?
Yeah, so under the UBS, so UBS have this student exchange program. So
Yeah, we
under
have
this,
more than 28. We have more than 28 partnership with different
some light on that, so that they can be prepared about, to which country they should target, which
Okay.
country have most beautiful experience.
Okay, so first of all, I replied, answer your question, but we have here Rishab also ask a question if MBA also have exchange program or not at UBS. This is something I'll explain. So we have more than 28 countries, different countries that you have exchange student with, where you can go for full 6 months and you don't have to pay any extra charges for tuition fees, only your food and accommodation. We have a lot of European countries. We have US. We have a lot of countries in Asia. Most of the students choose to go to Europe, which is we have students went to Budapest. We have go to Netherlands, Germany, France. The most of the students choose this country usually because everyone is interested to go to Europe. We help you with the process. So we give you paper for the embassy. We contact you with someone from also that can help you with your visa process. The host university give you papers and letters for the embassy to get your visa. And we also do this credit transfer for you. So we make sure to map between the subjects that you take over there and the subjects that you should take at UBS, so you can transfer some credits. So this is one. But at UBS, it's not only for for Rishab was asking, it's not only about exchange students. So I don't know from which program you are, Rishab, but sometimes for MBA sometimes it is intense. So I'll be very honest with you, it's rarely when an MBA student to go for a full exchange, like for an exchange student, but you have so many opportunities to go globally. So we have something called Erasmus Plus, since we have a lot of partners in Europe. So it's a scholarship from the European Union where you go for full semester in countries in Europe, totally funded. You don't have to pay anything, not your visa, not your flight ticket, and they even give you pocket money. For this, mainly we choose MBA most of the time to go. So this is an opportunity if you want to go long term. If you are an MBA or BBA, internship, as we all know, for BBA and MBA, both are compulsory at UBS. So you can go for an internship if you want abroad as well. We have a lot of partners. So you can go abroad for your internship. We have summer school. So even if you are an MBA, you have summer school from 2 weeks up to 2 months that you can go in summer school. And we have so many opportunities. You can go even if you are PGDM, you can go for now 1 month to Bulgaria to have a lot of exposure, international exposure. So we make sure that both BBA and MBA have a lot of international opportunities that they can go to, even if they are choosing only the PGDM, which is a totally Indian program. Okay, so when you say throw some light on Cardiff program, what do you mean? In what aspect? For Navneet. You're welcome, Rishabh. What is... Okay, for such a scholarship.
Can you
Okay,
type
so
what?
okay, so Komal is asking what is the selection criteria for such a scholarship? Okay, this is a tricky question because, yeah, we say that we have a lot of opportunities, but it's not for everyone. For such a scholarship as Erasmus, we choose 4 people totally funded. So you can imagine, even in our UBS criteria, we keep telling you it's not only about your academics, that even because I interview students, some students are 90% and they still get rejected. Why? Because we believe in a full rounder student. So even for such a scholarship, we have a lot of activities at UBS and a lot of clubs. You have to be part of this. You have to be contributing and giving value to UBS. This is one. You have to be a good student, because if I am sending you to be an ambassador of India and UBS, I have to send a good student. If you don't attend the lecture in your own school and business school, I don't expect you to go and attend it over there. So you have to have 80% attendance, you have to have 60% on academics, and you have to be contributing to UBS, participating in activities. You go to your sports classes, working one of the clubs. You do something good at UBS. So this is the main criteria for any student to go abroad, not only the scholarship one. Even if you are going to pay your food and accommodation over there, you need to meet this criteria, because it's very hard to get a partnership. So we have to make sure that the people who travels actually are good students. How can you opt for this student exchange program and internships abroad? So once you are Prashant, once you are asking how to opt for those exchange student and internships. So once you are here, you'll just need to email me. So after your first year or after your first semester, depends which program are you in. You will need to contact your program director and get approval, because a program director has to approve you first, and then you will contact me, and I will start communicating with the country, the university that you are interested in, and give you all the details and help you with the process. In terms of opportunities, which we Rahul, I cannot hear you,
Okay,
so that's why I'm reading a question. Okay, in terms of opportunities which we get after 1 year program of MBA internship placement. Okay, so after your 1 year program, there is 3 months internship. So in this 3 months internship, you can apply for it, and we can. I will contact you with those international internships. So this is an option that you can have. And the 1 year also, it has 2 weeks. You will have to go do one module in Cardiff as well. So this is an international opportunity that you will have with the 1 year program. And after you finish, there are for international opportunities job wise, every year we have some. So major companies are Indian companies, big companies, but we have some international companies that want students to go abroad as well, and we have some students who are actually got job abroad from our campus placement. So this is an opportunity you will get. It's not about the companies coming, it's about you being able to be good enough to crack the company interview. So opportunities we will give you, you working on yourself, attending your mentor-mentee every Tuesday in campus, working, reading, having knowledge, take those classes of personal grooming seriously, then only, and your aptitude test and how to, the cross-culture classes that you will get at UBS, take it seriously, and believe me, you will get a lot of opportunities. But you need to work on yourself. You cannot just say, I have a 1 year MBA, and then you expect everything to become good for you. You have to do something about it. Which specialization have more exposure to abroad countries? Specialization has nothing to do with abroad exposure, because as long as you are a UBS student, you will have access to all kind of exposure. Okay, maybe the international business, the Varna one, is something because it's international business, so it gives you a lot of ideas about things about cross culture, because this is part of the curriculum. But that doesn't mean it's better than any other program, because whatever we offer for as an exposure, you have the SSM, for example, you spend 1 year here and 1 year abroad, and whenever you go abroad, you will meet a different culture. You have the Lincoln program. So we call it universal business school. So everything, even including the Indian program, is universal and have different kind of exposure. So there is no different specialization give you more exposure. No program will give you more exposure. The fact that you are our student, we will make sure that you have enough exposure to different cultures and different countries. Do we get opportunity to go abroad in Cardiff 2-year MBA program? Yes, you go at whatever I mentioned now, whether internship, summer school, or even convocation, because you are their students. You can go for your convocation over there. The exchange student and the Erasmus Plus, the scholarship, all this is for all our students, not specific programs. So as I mentioned, whatever we offer it for everyone, not a specific program. As told, the broad culture session, now that's also for PGDM. Yeah, again, PGDM or not PGDM, you are UBS student, and all UBS students are same for us. And even PGDM, you will have a lot of sessions for cross culture. You will have a lot of opportunities. Even the student who got full scholarship to Europe for Erasmus 6 months, he was a PGDM student. He was in Cardiff, and he went because he is a good student, because we don't care which program you are from. he didn't go because he's PGDM, he didn't go because anything, he went because he was meeting the criteria. So we don't care which program you are in, you have the same chances and opportunities as anyone at UBS. How is the job opportunities for BBA? So let's be very, very honest. You are going to get a BBA degree from Cardiff, which is very, very prestigious. But from any college you will go to, you will always get a job. We help you with the placement as well. You will get opportunities. And if you work on yourself, if you are a good candidate, anyone will take you. We have some students who take an option of BBA plus MBA. So obviously they will have more opportunities because yeah, you are fresher, but still you will be having an MBA as well with the BBA. But let's be very honest, if you are just a BBA, you will get a job, but always the package might, you don't expect that you will get the same package as a fresher of an MBA with just the BBA. So you have just to set like the facts that yeah, BBA, we will support you a lot with placement. You will be able to go and sit in front of interviews from the companies, whichever who comes that doesn't require an MBA, you will be able to give an interview as well. But package will be different because you will be just a BBA student. Unlike if you go for BBA plus MBA, it's another story. But if you are just BBA, you will always get an opportunity as well. Can you throw light on summer school? So summer school, we have different kind of summer school. We have all our partners that we have exchange student with, they have also summer schools. So summer school starts from 2 weeks up to 2 months, and you can go to any of those university. And the best part about those summer schools, they send it to all their partners. So when you travel, you will have more than at least 10 countries in the same summer school. So it's, you are going to one country but interacting with so many people with so many backgrounds and different countries. So you will have a total exposure. Will the coronavirus pandemic have any impact on going abroad considering the current situation? So actually you guys lucky because whoever is having a program 2 years, so see, economy is like any country with when you have that, like I'm telling you, with few months everything will be open. And I still get emails from our partner universities asking for nomination for students who would like to go in November for this like November semester, if we have anyone is interested. So everything is going to be open. I don't think it will affect because you guys, even the people who have 2 years program, 1 year here and 1 year abroad, by this year, when you finish your first year at UBS, by the next year, things should be normal and things will be getting better. So I don't think it will affect. We never know. I cannot predict the future, but I'm telling you already, so many countries start having like the curfew is less and start opening many stores and many organizations start to reopen in different countries. So I think it won't take never more than a year. So I don't think it will affect. How does the Cardiff certificate help us to grab jobs in multinational? Let's just agree it's not a certificate. Cardiff is a proper MBA degree. So it's a master MBA degree, so it's not a certificate. There are different, but it will help you because any kind of multinational company, when you are having a foreign degree, it has a lot of value because those company, at least it's a globally, this MBA degree is globally accepted. So PGDM, as we always say, it rocks in India. People believe in PGDM. When it comes to going abroad, PGDM is a post-graduation diploma. So diploma is something lesser than MBA. So it's not that great abroad or for multinational. So the fact that you are having a globally accepted, accredited MBA degree from a very 150 years old university is a huge thing. Like it's like the name speaks for itself. So it will definitely help you. Right now I'm learning Spanish. Do I need certificate for that before putting it on my CV? If you are still learning Spanish, you can always mentioning it in the certificate, like in your CV, saying that you are pursuing a Spanish course and you are in this level. But unless you don't have the certificate in your hand, you shouldn't write that you have done it. So write that you are still pursuing and which level, because you never know where you are applying. They might ask you for certificate, then you will look bad. So just write in your CV always that you are pursuing and what level. It will be better. What are the selection process for summer school? So all our international program has the same selection process. So you have 60% academic, 80% attendance. You have to be participating in different activities and club at UBS, and you discipline and not part of any kind of like problem like campus. Thank you. Rachan, Shobhan,
Salma,
yes, I want to learn
yeah,
a
so
language.
I think we Salma,
Yeah,
hello.
yes, I'm speaking.
So I think we have taken, yeah, we have taken up maximum all the question. So let's take the last question and then we can close the session.
Okay, sure. So Komal is asking what I want to learn language. Can you suggest which language should I learn first that will help me to improve my profile? There is no such language that will tell you that this is the best language you can learn, because the language is a language, is a plus, as long as it's not your mother tongue and other than English, because obviously you guys all speak English. It will always add on your CV. So you can start thinking, what kind of country do you think about, like you dream to work in? So as I mentioned, Spanish, French, and Spanish word, German, Arabic, and language which is spoken in so many countries. So any of those languages would be nice to learn. But but you can see how do you see yourself, where do you see yourself in future, and accordingly you can start learning a language. And anyway, at UBS we have language classes, so two different language you can choose from. So you can also have one of those. You can learn, you will be able to learn one of those language at UBS as well. Okay, so guys, it was really lovely having you here, and I wish I could see you and hear you, but I'm sure we will at campus, and I wish you all the best, and please stay safe and have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Salma. Thank you for your time
Bye.
and throwing such enlightening messages and knowledge to the student. I'm sure they love it, and that's how a lot of love is flowing for you in terms of the message feedback. It's going.
Thank you.
So thank you to all the students for joining
Thank
the
you. And guys,
program.
before I go, please keep liking and sharing and commenting on your posts, because I'm taking care of this as well. So we have winners. So I want to announce that every week there will be different winners. So yeah, yesterday I announced winners, but that doesn't mean it's the end of the competition. So keep participating, and this is in a way to all be together and bond before joining the campus. Okay, thank you so much, and have a lovely evening. Bye.